Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. We are in the middle of a series of very special beers from a very special brewery, and the brewery is Shiga Kogen Brewery. And we first looked at 8 of their regular lineup beers, and now we're in the series of 6 limited edition or special release beers. And today's beer is probably the most special of all. It is called Isseki Sancho, and we're going to talk about this beer in a little bit of detail. Now, it is called on RateBeer a Belgian ale, or a strong pale Belgian ale, and I'm not sure why. The brewery itself calls it as you can see here, a barrel-aged Imperial Dark saison. Now, this is a very complex beer. We'll talk about it more. But first of all, a little bit about Shiga Kogen Brewery. They're located in Yamanouchi, Nagano, Japan, which is in the northern part of Nagano. Very snowy area, lots of winter sports up there. And they're connected to a sake brewery, which has been around since 1805, and that is called Tamamura-Honten. Perhaps you can see that here on the bottle cap, Tamamura-Honten, since 1805. And in 2003, they branched out into craft beer and began producing in 2004. And they've quickly risen to become one of the top breweries in Japan. They're not doing as many unusual things as they used to, but they make a solid series of beers, and they come out with great collaborations. So I kind of value them above some of the newer, younger, hotter breweries that are doing wild and crazy New England IPAs and that sort of thing. Shiga Kogen makes almost every kind of beer very well. The one area in which they might not be so strong is wheat beers, but almost everything else they can do quite well. And they also grow a lot of their own ingredients, especially hops, and they use a lot of their own hops in their beers. For their Yamabushi series of barrel-aged saisons, they use 100% of their own homegrown hops in the beer. Okay. Anyway, if you want to find out more about Shiga Kogen, go to their website. I've put a link to it in the description box down below. So this beer, Isseki Sancho, the name refers to a saying, which is also a saying in English, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And they do have a beer called Isseki Nicho, which translates exactly that, 2 birds with 1 stone. But this is 3 birds with 1 stone. And it is a collaboration with Dieu de Ciel in Canada. And the 3 refers to a couple of things. First of all, the 3 refers to the 3 breweries involved, and the 3 are Dieu de Ciel and Shiga Kogen, and then Ichiro's Malt, which is a whiskey producer, one of the kind of renowned Japanese whiskey producers, very small. It's called the Chichibu Distillery, and the beer was aged in their whiskey barrels, Ichiro's Malt barrels, and they have a special logo for that right here. So, Dieu de Ciel, Shiga Kogen, and Ichiro's Malt. And then the second one is saison and Imperial Stout and whiskey barrel aged for the beer. So those 3. So in that case, we would have 3 birds with 1 stone, or maybe 2 stones in any case. Ichiro's Malt is famous for winning the World's Best Award for 5 consecutive years, from 2007 to 2013. Very highly regarded whiskey producer, and Shiga Kogen was able to get some of their barrels to age the beer in. The base beer for this was produced in February 2017, so it's been sitting for like 2.5 years in the barrel. So it's got some age on it. The production date is November of 2019, so about 3 months ago. but again, it was sitting in barrels for a long time. This is 12% and has 90 IBUs, so it's a pretty healthy beer overall. On RateBeer, it has 25 ratings, an average score of 3.85, pretty high. That's out of 5. And 95 among all beers, and 95 for its style, which on RateBeer it's called Belgian Strong Pale Belgian Ale. I'm not sure why it's pale, but in any case. I think we should give this a go here. Oh, by the way, Ichiro refers to the owner, the whiskey master of that brewery. His name is Ichiro Akuto, and it's located in Saitama Prefecture. They are apparently open for tours only once a year, so it's very hard to get in and see what they actually do. And their beer is also their whiskey is hard to find as well. Let's open this up and see what we got. Okay, so it is a kind of glowing dark brown, slightly translucent around the edges. You can't really see it here, but around the bottom and the edges it's got kind of ruby tints to it. Very little head, kind of slick, so no lace whatsoever, really, very slick. How about the aroma? Oh my. Oh my. Chocolate, whiskey, berries, maybe something like cherry. I'm detecting very light Belgian yeast here. It is a very, very complex nose, definitely. Flavor. Chocolate, red berries, vanilla. There's a lot of barrel in this, definitely. But it comes out, it's not overwhelming as it is in some lighter beers that they make. You know, for example, certain types of, like an IPA, for example, or something like that, that might, or pale ale even, that would absorb too much of the alcohol here. This has enough solid roasty body to absorb that whiskey, and it really complements it. This is absolutely astounding beer. Spicy, very big bodied. Again, 2.5 years in the barrel. Lots of flavors, lots of aromas. This is a sipper, 2% or 12%. You gotta really go slow on this one. As it warms up, you're getting newer flavors here. There's something more like maybe dark chocolate now is coming through. The texture on the tongue, you can feel, almost feel the roastiness. This is exceptional. If you happen to see this beer, buy it. It's not cheap, but I think you can find it sometimes on their website when they happen to have it in stock. They made only 3,000 or so bottles of this beer, so I was lucky enough to find it not too far from the brewery in a 7-Eleven convenience store, unbelievably. In any case, if you happen to see this beer, you might want to pick it up. So this is the second version they made of this beer. The first time was a collaboration with Oxbow, and this time is a collaboration with Dieu de Seal and Ichiro's malt. So try to find this beer, see if you can, and I think this is one of the better beers you will probably experience from a Japanese brewery. Shiga Kogen 一石三鳥. Give it a try. Well, that's it for today. And in our next video, we'll look at the last of the special limited release Shiga Kogen beers that we have to look at. I hope you watch it. And leave me a comment if you like. Subscribe to the channel. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.